Hello and welcome to episode 41 of the Beks Creates podcast. My name is Beks and I'm coming to you from a once again overcast Bristol, where I live with my husband Paul, our Norwegian forest cat Mufasa, and in 3 weeks' time this little man who is nearly cooked. So last time I had a lovely comment saying show us your bump, so hopefully you'll get to see a bit more of him today. As you can see, he's a rather impressive one, very large, big chunky boy incoming, I think. I am 36 weeks tomorrow, and expecting him to be delivered at around 39 weeks, so not long to go now. And I'll just apologise now for out of breathness, baby brain, the works, because it's all going on. This is my second week of maternity leave, and boy was I ready. I near the end I kept saying, oh, should I have worked a bit longer? But the last 2 weeks have proved that no, I was absolutely right to finish when I did. I am exhausted and big and uncomfortable and tired and all the other words. So yes, I totally made the right decision. All I want to do now is knit and nap, and that's about it really. And even then I can't really get very comfortable, so yes. I think his short girl problems. I'm only 5'2". He takes up a lot of space. He's pushing on my lungs and on my bladder, and yeah, but I'm not complaining. I love it dearly. I wouldn't change it for anything. So it's been a busy few weeks since I last podcast. I had 2 weeks back at work after the Easter holidays, which were, you know, nice, sort of winding down, but very tiring indeed. The children were very lovely, and I had a very lovely last day at work. I was very spoilt by staff and families, and it was just lovely. And then since then I've had a lot of appointments. We had a big weekend of coronation celebrations in our street this weekend. And I've just been sort of catching up with myself really, trying to get lots of jobs done. I've got a big pile here by my feet of hospital bags that are packed and nappy bag and all sorts of things. Finally finishing this room, and yes, it's been a busy few weeks, and I'm hoping the next couple of weeks won't be so busy. It will just be about rest and knitting, obviously. But I have managed to do a lot of knitting. I've got a lot to show you. I actually have some acquisitions, which I know I don't have very often. But I have treated myself to some yarn recently. This light's really funny. It's making me look quite blonde on that side. Very weird. I hope the light's going to be okay for us. And I'm talking really fast, which is going to make me more out of breath. So I will try and stop that. So I've got a big pile of finished objects here. I've got a big pile of whips. I've got some presents, some knitted gifts and some handmade gifts that have been very kindly given. And then, yeah, some acquisitions and some future plans to show you. So I better crack on. So the first thing I'm going to show you is this romper, which was a bit of a pain, I've got to be honest. There's the picture. It's the baby romper by Little French Knits. And like you would have heard me talk about before, when I bought the pattern, I didn't realise that this was knit flat and then seamed, but actually it worked out okay. So here it is. Sorry, it has been blocked, but it's a little bit crumpled now because it's been folded, waiting to show you for quite a while. So yes, here it is. I think I did the 6 to 9 month size, if I remember rightly. I did the third size, which is 6 to 12 months. So it's a little bit bigger. It's got this lovely like twisted stitch rib detail on the top. I think I ended up slightly fudging the shoulder straps, if I remember rightly. I didn't quite follow the pattern and did my own thing, but I'm pleased with how they turned out. And if you remember, I adapted the pattern slightly to slip the first stitch of every row as I knitted it, which was a really good plan because that gave me a really good sort of clear guide for seaming, and I think that's turned out quite well. I'm quite pleased with how it's come out in the end. I wouldn't knit another one. That's right, I do remember now that actually the top was supposed to be buttoned, and I think I just did a 3 needle bind off on the shoulders, but I don't feel like it needs to be buttoned because the bottom is, so it would have been a bit overkill to have it open on the top and the bottom, so and use too many buttons, so I just went with it. I just got the little wooden buttons from Etsy, which I think I showed last time, and the yarn was a no, it wasn't, I tell a lie, it was a Skein Queen yarn, that's right. And I really like the way it's come out, really nice blues, lovely speckles of navy running through it and turquoise. Really pleased with that. And I've knit a little cardigan to go with that, which you've seen before. What I might try and do is do a video of all baby's little outfits, because I think it'd be a nice record for me to see what I've made and kind of see how they might mix and match a bit. So yeah, that's that one. Then I made this absolutely gorgeous little hat. This is going to go in the hospital bag. So this was the Easy Peasy newborn sock hat, I think it was called. I haven't got the pattern with me now, but you'll see it if you look at the last episode. This was so quick and easy. I made it with the leftovers from the flax light that I made for him. It's got this really cute little like knot detail on the top. And it's so tiny. When I was knitting it, when I started it, I thought it was going to be really big. But actually, when you do the crown decreases, it just pulled it all in. And it's got this like rolled hem, sort of brim. So yeah, too cute, very tiny. Yeah, and that pattern, it was only in a newborn size, but I think it would lend itself quite easily to changing the yarn or the needles and making it a bit bigger. So I might do that at some point. It was a free pattern, so yeah, you could have a good play with it. Right, next, oh, these are so cute. I love these little joggers. So I'll tell you more about the pattern in a minute, because the pattern's actually in a project bag because I knit in another pair. But these were a lovely knit. I really like the waistband detail, so it's got a folded waistband. And what you do is you leave a few stitches open. I don't know if you can see here, and the yarn tail, and you thread elastic through and then sew that up. I haven't done that yet because I haven't got the elastic. When I went to the fabric shop, it was closed. But what I'm thinking is that I won't sew up that gap so that they could be adjusted, so I can put the elastic in there a bit tighter when he's smaller and then leave that gap open so it can be loosened. Part of me wonders if it even needs elastic at all, because it is quite stretchy, but I'll go with it. It was a really nice pattern. I'll talk about it more when I talk about the other ones. But yeah, lovely detail. I really like how you decrease in the legs. It looks really neat down here. And yeah, I must have liked it because these are they weren't the smallest size. These were the newborn. There was a premature size newborn, and then I'm currently on, I think, 6 months. And now I'm going to knit a 12-month pair as well. I just think they look so like soft and slouchy and comfortable. I think they'll be gorgeous, and he's got lots of little clothes that will go with these. So yeah, really happy with those. The colourway is Deep by Bird Street Yarn, one of my favourites. Can't go wrong with a little navy jogger. So yeah, they were a lovely knit. Next, very similar colour. This one's actually in Deeper, also by Bird Street Yarn. This was the Dickson cardigan, so I had to knit this because it was named after our family name. It's just a really sweet little raglan cardigan with cable details down the raglan. I don't normally do cables, but these weren't too bad. and it was only for that little bit, so I gave it a go. I knit it shorter than the pattern said, because the picture, if I show you, the cardigan's quite long and I wasn't that keen on it being that long, so I've done it much shorter. But yeah, really nice pattern. It's by Galt House of Yarn, and it was actually a free pattern on Ravelry. I've had it in my library for a while, and then when I remembered it was there, I had to do it. I thought I was going to end up playing Yarn Chicken a bit, because I think it calls for DK yarn, and it said, let me have a look. It said 2 skeins for this size. I did the 6 to 12 month size. So I thought I might be playing Yarn Chicken, but actually because I did it shorter and I chose to do short sleeves, it was fine. There was a tiny bit left over, so that was okay. And he can always wear a long sleeve baby grow under it anyway, so not a problem at all. Again, I've knit some other things to go with this, so yeah, be a nice little mix and match situation going on there. Next finished object are the socks I made for my goddaughter Freya. So here they are. I've just done a magic heel. Lots of people always ask when I show magic heel socks what pattern I use. I've never used a pattern. I know there is a pattern by the Autumn Acorn, but to be honest, I just literally whack a little ribbed panel in the back of a sock. I've done this one really nice and long. She's 7, but she's tall, and her feet are growing fast. So I decided if I did a long magic heel that they'd just fit her for a little bit longer. I have got a template of her foot currently, which I kind of used as a guide, but yeah, I kind of made it with her growing in mind. The yarn is awesome. It is Moana by Somerset Yarns. And I showed Freya the yarn when I said I was knitting it for her. I said, guess which Disney film this is from? And she guessed straight away, first guess. And it's quite special for us because it's what she usually chooses to watch when she's at our house. So I've watched that film many, many times. I'm quite looking forward to the live action version though. I think that's going to be really good. Such great music in that film. So yeah, she will love those. She's very knit worthy. And I haven't knit her socks for a really long time. I haven't knit her anything for a long time, so she'll be thrilled. Finally, a finished object for me. It's not happened in a very long time, but there's more coming. So I showed you, and I've left the pattern in the other room, so I can't remember the designer's name, but it will be in a previous video. I showed you last time I just started this, which is the Slip Crazy Cowl. And I'll show you it up close. This was such an amazing knit. I absolutely loved every stitch. It was really fun. So you knit it with 2 colours of kind of speckled variegated self-striping, as wild as you like. It really lends itself to just using up random single skeins or even leftovers, because the nature of the slip-in, it's sort of, you never really know what the fabric's going to turn out like. And then it says you need half a skein of like a contrast colour for these bits in between, but it used probably no more than 20 grams. It was a tiny bit. So this could really be like a stash buster mini skein kind of project. You could do anything with it. You could use lots of different colours. But I used 2 colours for the slip stitches. I used Season's Greetings by Bird Street Yarn and Princess Wannabe by Jo Knit Sew. Yeah, I think it was Jo Knit Sew. And they were really fun to work with. You can see that they just work together so well. One of them is a sparkle, so there's got a tiny bit of sparkle but not too much. Not that you can ever have too much sparkle in my view. And then the green in between is Sea Glass by Lay Family Yarn, which is just a nice subtle sagey green in between the bright colours. And yeah, I'm really pleased with it. it nice and easy. I think it'd be really good when, like, next winter when I'm chasing around after baby, that it keeps me nice and snug and warm, but it won't fall off like a shawl would. What I would say is I don't feel like it needs this last repeat. I think that length would be all right for me, and like, that's coming from me who loves a big shawl. Yeah, I think that would actually be plenty. Weirdly, what I found, even though the rows got longer and longer, they felt like they got quicker because I got more used to the pattern. So it felt like such a quick knit. I am planning another one, and I've bought some nice new yarn for it, so I will show you that in a little bit. Sorry, I can't stop fiddling with my hair today. Yeah, so lovely project, really enjoyed that. It was a nice one to sort of get me back into knitting things for me, which I haven't obviously been doing very much lately. So yeah, that was good fun. So I will show you now, I'll show you the knitted and handmade presents we've had for baby, because they're sitting here and I don't want to knock them on the floor. So I've had these gorgeous, look at these tiny little socks. These are from my lovely friend Hannah from Yarnia Designs, who came to visit me the other day with her gorgeous little girl. And they are just so sweet. She didn't mention the pattern she used or the yarn, but they're so cute. I just love them. I think these will have to go in his hospital bag as well. He's going to be the best dressed baby coming home from hospital. And then my sister at my baby shower gave me this beautiful little teddy bear jumper. It's so sweet. And I know this is Flax Light, which obviously you've seen me make a few of these recently, without the garter panel, and then she just added this really sweet little teddy bear face. I don't know what the yarn is. They've got lots of browns going on at the moment though, so it might be one of theirs, but I'm not sure. Can't tell. But oh my goodness, so gorgeous. He's going to look so cute in it. Can't wait to dress him in that, and that'd go really nicely with his little navy joggers. So that's another little outfit sorted. Pretty sure she said she did that in 3 to 6 months, so it'd be for autumn, but you can wear a little long sleeve top under it. And then this present just made me cry. It's so amazing. So Claire also made him this gorgeous quilt in these absolutely beautiful fabrics. I love rainbows, I love bees, so it's just perfect. I love lightning flashes. Gorgeous. And it's backed with this really sweet fabric. So it's already been living in his cot, but I had to take it out to show you, so that'll be going back in there. It's just absolutely beautiful. I just love it so much. Hopefully might get a nicer thumbnail out of that. Yeah, so he is one very lucky baby. So that's finished objects and presents. Let's move on to whips. So sorry, I need to drink lots. Always got a dry mouth. So this is a new cast on that I literally just cast on this morning, and I'm actually thinking this is going to be a whip to leave in the nursery just in case he falls asleep on me and I might be able to knit over him. When Hannah came to visit the other day, she said when they're newborns you do actually manage to get a bit of knitting in, because they just sleep on you and you can't do a lot else. So if you can train yourself to knit with them on you, then perfect. So I've cast on a pair of socks for Paul, because he loves them. He's got a couple that are looking a bit ropey. Actually, he got a hole in one the other day, so I got rid. So I started another pair. So this is all I've done so far. I've lost the ball band, but I'm pretty sure it's Earl of Grey by Bird Street Yarn. So it's just this lovely silvery grey with little flecks of sort of raspberry, purple and green. Sorry, I don't feel like it's showing very well on there. Oh, that's better. Yeah, so it's really nice. It's on the really nice high twist base, so already you can see the stitch definition is just lovely, which it just pleases me so much. So I've just done a 2x2 cuff, heading into the leg. I should do a magic heel because that's his favourite. He even tells people when he tells people that he's wearing hand knit socks, he says, and this is a magic heel and it's really good because it fits, it's really stretchy, and he knows all about it. So that's what he'll be getting in those socks. And then from the from the ridiculous size 11 socks to the tiny. I've literally just finished this one as well, and I didn't have a needle handy, so I haven't finished it off yet. But I've knit some tiny little socks for baby. All I've done is just a rib tube, so they'll hopefully fit in for a while. I just think life's a bit short to put heels in baby socks. So there it is, it stretches out really nicely. I did 36 stitches, a 2x1 rib all the way down, and then just popped a little toe on. And this matches the little newborn hat I had earlier and the flax light I've done, so it goes in a little outfit, which is one I'm going to take hopefully for him for hospital or maybe for coming home. Yeah, so I've got to knit the second one. The yarn you've seen before, it was a prototype for the Oxford Yarn Store colour, so sadly you can't actually buy it, and it is a really gorgeous colour. But out of that 100-gram skein, I've got a jumper, a hat, one sock so far, and I've still got all that left, so it goes a long way when this baby knits. And that's in one of my favourite Bird Street yarn bags. Okay, next one, actually I'll hang on to that one because that's a really exciting one. I'll show you that in a minute. So this is the other pair of joggers that I'm working on in my Moth and Found bag. So this time I'm doing a grey pair, classic grey joggers, and this is where I'm up to. So I've done the waistband. I did actually add some stitches, there's some rows to the waistband, because I think it called, well, I won't say what it called for, but I added about another 3 or 4 rows because it just didn't feel deep enough to me. And again, I've got the little gap ready for the elastic. And then I've done the short rows, which makes it longer in the bottom to fit nappy in. And actually this is the longest part because you end up with quite a lot of stitches, and you have to knit for quite a few inches before you separate for the legs. So taking me a little bit longer, these ones, but I'm still really liking it. The grey is, I always get the Bird Street greys muddled up. I think it's shale or it could be slate, I can't remember, but yeah, just a lovely nice mid grey. Again, he's got some other outfits this will go with. I'm doing the 6 to 12 month size, and the pattern is, it's a great pattern. It is the baby joggers, the top toppers baby joggers, designed by Kate Oates. And there's a little boy wearing them now. I just think he looks so like comfy, and they're sort of soft and slouchy. So yeah, I'm doing the 3rd size, which is 6 months. And then the plan is, when I've done these ones, I will cast on another pair. I've got this nice green, which I'm not sure what it is. It's just one Claire gave me as a second. But I will do the 12-month size in those. So yeah, hopefully I'll keep him going for his first year, these little joggers. They're so nice, and they're really nice to knit. I'm really enjoying them. And they're just so sweet when they're finished. They're just so cute. Been a really nice knit, that. Okay. Next one is a new cast on that I hadn't even thought about when I recorded last time. But I've taken to watching the Grocery Girls again, which I just didn't for a while. I think because being busy at work and stuff, their podcasts are so long, you know, a good couple of hours. Not that I watch them all in one go, but, you know, I just didn't get around to it. And I remembered how much I love watching them, but they're really, really into adding sparkle to their knits at the moment. And they're really lucky because they can get really good sparkle yarns that we just can't get over here. When I say sparkle, I mean sequins. So I decided that I wanted to knit a black jumper of some kind with sparkles in it, with sequins in it. So I got 3 skeins of this, which is just Cascade 220. No, it's not, it's Cascade Heritage. So just a 75-25 merino nylon. Fingering weight, so 400 meters to 100 grams. And it says colour 5601, and I believe on Wool Warehouse it was called Night. So it's just black. So it's not very exciting, but it's a good solid yarn. I actually knit a Whitmore sweater out of this same yarn, and it is brilliant. It like goes on, and I wear it all the time. Well, I used to, and I will again. So I got that, and then I found this, which is King Cole Cosmos in the shade Lunar, which is 1097. And as you can see, it's like a black Lurex thread with little sequins distributed evenly along it. Now, this is really good because it doesn't change your gauge, because it's so fine. Like it won't make a fingering into a DK kind of thing. It's finer than lace, so you don't really have to make any allowances for it. So which leaves patterns quite open. Now my initial plan was to make a lento, because I've seen quite a few people make them. It looks like a nice, easy sort of boxy raglan sweater, and that was my plan. So I bought the yarn, and when you look on the Ravelry page, it says yarn requirements at the top, and it just says fingering. Now normally, if you're then holding it double with mohair or whatever, it would say fingering plus weight, plus lace equals DK, but it didn't say that. So I bought the yarn, and then I looked at the pattern again, and I thought, there's no way that's just fingering. It looks chunkier than that. And when you scroll down to the more detail at the bottom of the pattern page, it actually says you hold it double with mohair. So by this point, I'd already bought the yarn, and I didn't really want a mohair sweater, and I didn't want to go back and buy something else. So I thought, right, okay, I'll go back and I'll have another look for something that's just fingering weight, so I can hold these two together, and it'd be lovely. So in the end, I have ended up with the Cumulus blouse by Petite Knit. Now I think you can't go wrong with a Petite Knit sweater anyway. With a Petite Knit anything. I love her patterns. I love the kind of slouchy fit, the sort of relaxed boxy fit, the V-neck. I think it'd be really nice. So, and I'm kind of thinking this would be nice, like, you know, around Christmas time, like a bit of a sparkly jumper with jeans. I just really like it. So, and I just wanted to knit something sparkly. I can't explain. So it has, if I remember rightly, it has quite a lot of positive ease. Yeah, 4 to 6 inches of positive ease. Now, I didn't swatch because I don't generally. If it was more fitted, I would, but I think because it's got positive ease, there's a bit of leeway, so I don't really, and I didn't want to swatch with the sequins because it would kind of make it difficult to unpick and reuse the yarn. So I'm knitting the 5th size, which gave me more than 4 to 6 inches positive each, which is good because when I then measured my gauge once I got going, instead of 18 stitches I had 22, so my gauge was tighter, even though I went up from a 4.5 to a 5mm needle. Shows how tight my knitting was. I thought my knitting was getting looser, but it's not. So mine won't be quite as slouchy, but I think it still gives me plenty of leeway. It's fine. So yeah, all that said, I have made a start. I'm at the point where I am still knitting flat. So you knit flat for a while. Oh dear, yarn charging across the room. I'm at the point where you're knitting flat across here, making the V-neck, and then you join once you get to the bottom of the V. So here is where I am. So you see the fabric's quite open, but it'll look really nice with a black vest top underneath. And I just love the sequins. They've distributed so well so far. You can see there just about to see the raglan increases going down there. Yeah, and it's just a really nice knit. The sparkle makes knitting in black a bit more fun. Although I've generally never had a problem with knitting in black because I just think it's really wearable, so I don't mind doing it. It's definitely more of a product knit than a process knit. But the sequins really help. I think at the end you go back and you add on like an I-cord neckline. I think when I do that I will drop the sequins just to make it a bit neater. And the same probably on the cuffs and the hem. But yeah, I'm really pleased with it so far. What I'm hoping is to get this joined in the round by the time I go to Flock, which is on Saturday. For those of you who don't know, Flock is a gathering of Southwest yarnies that's held in Bristol, run by Bird Street Yarn. It's a really fun afternoon. I probably won't be staying all afternoon just because getting comfy anywhere is virtually impossible now. But it's just such a lovely atmosphere, lovely, full of lovely people, lots of cake, lots of tea. So when I'm there, well, to be honest, it's kind of a bit of a rare treat for me to sit and knit and flock because generally I run the shop, but I won't be doing that this time. I've told them I'm on maternity leave from that as well. So I will actually get to knit. So I want something where I can just round and round because there's no way I'll be able to concentrate otherwise. So yeah, I'm just trying to bash through these raglan increases and knitting flat so I can join it and then just knit round and round on it on Saturday. But yeah, I'm really thrilled with it so far. I hope it comes out as nicely as I'm picturing, because I think, you know, a little black sparkly jumper, you can't go wrong with that, can you really? It's going to be really special, hopefully. And actually, it's not been very expensive because Cascade yarn is a good price point, and the sequin yarn is, I think it's about £4 a ball for 25 grams, but the meterage is massive on it. So I've only got 3, and that will go further than this jumper anyway. So yeah, really enjoying that, and it's really nice actually seeing it on camera. I love the way it sparkles. So next one is something that was a dream knitting last time, and I have actually cast it on, and I'm having a lovely time with it so far. It's not, the pattern didn't print properly for some reason, it missed out a page. So there's a picture there. This is the Enola Tea. Yeah, it is Enola Tea by Jennifer Shields Toland, and it's just, as you can see, just a boxy sleeveless sort of tee. And so I cast it on and I thought, oh, this might take a long time because again, it's got quite a lot of ease. I think it's about 5 inches of positive ease, and it's fingering weight and it's bottom up, so it might feel a bit of a drag, but actually it's flown by. I'm really enjoying it. So I've made, as you can see, quite a lot of really good progress. You have to put some rounds of increases in at certain points, and I think I'm almost up to the ones at 35 centimeters. So yeah, it's come on really well so far. The yarn is Tart by Bird Street Yarn, which is one of my favourite colours. I've also got a Whitmore sweater in that colour. And I just really like the detail of this. So you start off with this really nice hem where you've got like a bit of garter, a bit of twisted rib, a bit more garter, and up the sides you carry on the rib. So as you can see, there's this light, sorry, light's not great, this really nice rib detail up both sides, and then I'm pretty sure that then carries across the shoulder and across the neckline. So it's just like, it's nice sort of elegant sort of detail. I really like it. And yeah, I'm just really enjoying that, just round and round, and I don't think it would be massively long before I'm ready to do the top. And the nice thing is there's no sleeves at all. So once I've done this, I'm nearly there. So it's actually flown this. It's so much quicker than I thought it would be. And that'd be lovely to have that ready for the summer. And hopefully, because of the positive ease, I might get into it quite quickly. Fingers crossed. Don't get me wrong, I've absolutely loved having a bump. But I'm just getting to the stage now where I'm thinking it would be nice to get back into some of my old clothes. And also be able to pick things up off the floor, because that's something I can't do either. Very round. Okay, one more work in progress. This one you have seen rather a lot of, but I've made some good progress on this too this time. So this is my, I've forgotten the name. Well, it's loosely the Spectrum scarf by Amanda Beaumont, but I have made quite a lot of adaptations to this one, as you've heard me talk about before. So I'm using my Merry Music Advent from Green Lambkin Yarns from 2022. So I'm using some of the pattern stripes. Well, I'm using the 3 pattern stripes that are in the pattern, but I've added 3 of my own just to mix up even more. So you've seen this bit before. So we've got like pinks through the peaches, orange, yellows. I think I was on the greens last time I showed you. And now I'm onto the blues, which were just gorgeous. These 2 last colours, this like cornflowery blue and then this navy, just lovely. And I think they've like really added some depth to the shawl. Really lovely. So I've had a really nice time working on that one. I think, how many have I got now? Let me have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I've only got 8 more stripes to put in it. So not many to go now, but I do really love it. So nice. The colours are gorgeous. The sparkle's gorgeous. It's just a nice, easy knit. Nice one to pick up every now and again and add just a stripe in, really. So yeah, that's all there is to say about that one, really. But yeah, it's working out really nicely. I think it's going to block really well. I think it's got room to grow quite a bit. So that'd be nice, because I do like a nice generous wrap. Although I might not keep it, I might give it as a present, but we'll see. I do love it so much, so we will see. But yes, it's a lovely knit, that one. And that was a free pattern as well. It was designed to use a Skepier's whirl. So yeah, it was a really good pattern. I think it had 3 different things in the pattern. So yes, so that is all of the whips. As you can see, I've got quite a few going, but it's nice to have some that are a bit more concentrated, some that are just easy. I've got millions of appointments, so socks are handy. Yeah, just a nice little variation and just what I feel like working on, really. So let me show you some acquisitions. So first thing, I decided I needed some needle stoppers, because I kept putting stuff in bags, and I think where I had some sort of bigger projects, they were coming off the end of the needles, and I used to have some, but I couldn't find them anywhere. So I went to Emma's website. Her card's so cute, which is Eldenwood Crafts. I'm sure you know lovely Emma. Her website is just eldenwoodcraft.com, and she had these really cute needle stoppers that she'd advertised on Instagram, and instantly I was like, yeah, they're the ones I want. So I got a pair of these. Oh, the colour doesn't show up very well. That's not helpful. Hang on, bear with. Oh, that's not easy. So clumsy. So I got a pair of these. They look a bit grey on here, but they are actually like a more of a mauvey lilac. Got a pair of those, and I got a pair of sort of sagey minty kind of green. really pretty. And they've just got little holes in just to stick on the end of your needles, and I'm going to need to put those on a couple of projects straight away because we do not want to lose stitches. Emma also included a little bag with some bulb pins and some round stitch markers. I won't get them out. That was very sweet of her. Her packaging is absolutely lovely. All the cards and little glassine bags and stuff, so nice. So yes, that's that acquisition. And then when I ordered the black yarn for my sweater, I needed to add a bit to make up to free delivery. So I ordered another skein of the King Cole Cosmos, but in the silver. Now I was slightly, disappointed is probably the wrong word, but I've had this before, the silver one, it's called Starburst, and the colours of the sequins were much nicer. These are kind of red, blue, gold, black. They're a bit primary, whereas the ones I had before had some nice pinks, reds, like they were really, really pretty, a bit more holographic. But it'd be nice, I'll use it. Yeah, so that's colour 1100, which is Starburst. And then I also ordered a couple of these pom-poms, which I've not had before. They're by Shashamaya, and they were really cheap. They were like £1 each, I think, something like that. They're smaller ones, but they'll be really good for like baby hats or Freya hats. I got this like minky colour, which I thought was really nice, and this really funky pink, sort of pink tips. So yeah, they were just sort of top up an order, but they're very nice. And then finally I had this urge to buy some yarn, and I haven't done it for ages and ages. And it came up on my Instagram that Woolly Mama was having an update, and I've always admired her yarns but never bought any. They're very me because they're very neon and beautiful. So I bought 2 skeins of fingering weight. I love her tags, they're shiny. So I got Lemon Sugar, which is just a 75-25 merino nylon. Sorry, excuse the crinkling. Which is this one. And I got Hopeless Romantic, which again is 75-25. And I'm thinking of putting these together in another Slip Crazy cowl, because they would just be amazing. They're so nice. And I'm thinking of pairing it with this neon coral, which is one of my favourite colours of all time. It's Jellyfish from Somerset Yarns. I've had loads of it. I love it. I think that sets it off so nicely. It's quite wild, but I love wild. It's fine, yeah. Just these colours are just gorgeous. I mean, look at those speckles. Oh, gorgeous, gorgeous. And the yellow is quite left field for me, but neon, what can I say? And then finally, I also ordered a skein of DK because I don't have much in my stash. And this one's called Riverside. It's another 75-25. Not dissimilar to this one actually, but really pretty. I just love the greens and the pinks, the lilacs. Ever so nice. I think this might be a hat for me at some point. I think I was knitting so many blue and grey things. I just needed some fun colours. So yeah, I was really happy with those. So that is everything. This is quite a long podcast for me. So I won't make any promises about when I'm going to be back, because I'm getting to the point now where I'm just very tired and not feeling like doing much. If I can come back again before baby is born, I will try my best. I will certainly try and do a little baby outfit video, which might be more of a vlog sort of style. But otherwise, keep an eye out on Instagram if you follow me on there, and I will post baby news on there. You can follow me. My username is Mrs. B Diddy. My account is private just because of the nature of my job, but if you follow me and I can see that you're a knitter or I can see you sort of follow other people that I follow, that sort of thing, I will happily accept you. So please don't be afraid to request. And just a word to say that I have got a Ravelry store. I don't mention it very often because I'm not sort of actively designing at the moment. But I've got a Ravelry store, which is Beki Dickson Designs. And there is always, I always put a discount code under these videos, which runs all day, every day, which is podcast 20 for 20% off any of my patterns anytime. I have lots of mainly sock patterns, but I have lots of cowls, that sort of thing in there as well. So do feel free to go over and have a look and use that code. And yeah, you can use that as many times as you like, as often as you like. It's just a little thank you for watching my videos. So yes, hopefully I will be back soon, but we shall see. In the meantime, I hope you all are well and enjoying your knitting, and I will see you when I see you. Take care. Bye.